We've all seen that person, the one who walks into a room and without saying a word commands the air. We often think respect is something you demand, that it's about being the loudest, the strongest, or the most aggressive. But true respect isn't a demand, it's a reflection. If you have to tell people to respect you, you've already lost it. Real respect is a psychological byproduct of how you treat yourself and how you perceive your own value. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the psychology of the highly respected. We aren't just talking about tips and tricks, we're talking about a fundamental shift in your internal hard drive, from the way you move your body to the way you handle a direct insult. If you've ever felt invisible, talked over, or taken advantage of, this isn't just a video, it's a recalibration. The internal locus, respecting the self first. The world is a mirror. It doesn't give you what you want, it reflects back to you who you are. Psychologists talk about a concept called the internal locus of control. People who get respect easily believe that they are the primary architects of their lives. They don't look to the crowd to decide if they are good enough. They've already made that decision in private. Think about the ice cream rule from earlier. If you pay for 2 scoops and get 1 and you stay silent, you aren't being nice. You are telling your subconscious that your needs are less important than the convenience of a stranger.
The psychological shift. Respect starts with self-intimacy. When you respect your own time, your own health, and your own boundaries, you send out a frequency. Other people pick up on that frequency and realize, oh, this person has a high entry price. I can't just walk all over them. You must be willing to be disliked to be respected. The moment you stop being a people pleaser is the moment you start being a leader. People don't respect nice people who have no backbone. They respect kind people who have clear boundaries. The master versus the slave, the language of movement. There is a biological reason why we respect certain people instantly. It's written in our DNA. In the animal kingdom, the prey moves fast. It's twitchy. It's constantly scanning for threats. But the apex moves with a calculated, heavy stillness. Rule: move slow, speak slow. When you rush, whether it's rushing your words or rushing across a room, you are subconsciously signaling that you are at the mercy of the environment. You are reacting to the world. A person who commands respect acts as though the world is reacting to them. The eye contact. Don't look away first. When you hold eye contact, you aren't being aggressive, you are being present. Looking down is a submissive, thin slice that tells the other person you are afraid of their judgment. The stillness. Highly respected people don't fidget. They don't play with their pens or adjust their shirts. They own the space they occupy. Try this tomorrow. When someone asks you a question, don't answer immediately. Pause for 2 seconds. Look them in the eye, then speak. That 2-second gap is where your authority lives. It shows you aren't controlled by the urge to please them. Nothing kills respect faster than disappearing in a conversation. We've all been there. You're making a point and someone starts talking over you. Most people stop. They shrink. They wait for a gap that never comes. But highly respected people finish their sentences, not by shouting, but by consistency. When you allow someone to bulldoze you, you are signaling that their thoughts are more important than yours. If someone interrupts, you don't have to be rude, you don't have to snap. You simply continue your thought at a steady pace. Usually the interrupter will realize their mistake and go silent. The group dynamics. If someone disrespects you one-on-one, it's a private issue. If they do it in front of a group, it's a test of your character. You don't need to break them with anger. Anger is a sign of weakness. It shows they got under your skin. Instead, use polite lethality. A calm, direct question like, "Is there a reason you felt the need to say that right now?" is 10 times more powerful than a shout. It puts the social weight back on them. The paradox. sharing flaws and complimenting rivals. This is the most counterintuitive part of the psychology of respect. Insecure people try to look perfect. They hide their flaws, they badmouth their competition, and they never admit they're wrong. They think this makes them look strong. It actually makes them look fragile. The strength of vulnerability. When you openly share a shortcoming, like Brad Pitt joking about his failing marriage in an award speech, you're showing that your ego is so large and secure that a flaw can't dent it. You aren't faking it till you make it. You've already made it. The high-value compliment. If you can look at a rival and say, honestly, they did an incredible job on that project, you win. Why? Because it shows you aren't threatened. Only a person at the top of the mountain can afford to cheer for the person climbing up behind them. When you compliment your competition, you aren't just being nice, you are signaling dominance through abundance. You have so much value that you don't need to steal it from others. The ultimate form, the provider mindset. At the end of the day, there is a limit to tricks. You can move slow and hold eye contact all you want, but if you are a hollow person, the respect will vanish the moment you leave. The highest form of respect comes from being a provider. Jocko Willink often says that authority is given voluntarily by people who know you care about them. Are you a value adder? Do you help people without expecting a thank you in return? Do you keep your word even when it's inconvenient? The provider's rule, generosity without expectation, is the ultimate alpha move. It shows you have an internal sun. You are a source of energy, not a drain. People don't respect you for what you take from them. They respect you for who you are in their presence. Be the person who stops the bully. Be the person who walks the walk. Be the person who respects themselves enough to stay quiet, and the world will eventually have no choice but to listen. Call to action. Respect isn't a destination, it's a practice. It's a million tiny decisions to choose yourself over the crowd. Tonight, I want you to look at your locus of control. Where are you letting people walk over you? Where are you apologizing for just existing? Pick one thing. Maybe it's finishing your sentence today. Maybe it's moving a little slower. Maybe it's finally saying no to that favor you don't want to do. If this video shifted something in you, I want to hear about it. What is the one boundary you're going to set this week? Let's talk in the comments. And if you're struggling with being too nice, I've linked my deep dive on the art of the guilt-free no below. You deserve your own respect first. Stay honorable.